Well, welcome to the new year, everybody, Chrome and Steel fans, listeners, and newcomers here. I'm coming to you live from another undisclosed location out on another cattle buying trip. Gonna have a guest on with me tonight. Let a few people get in here, see what's going on. I have a really close friend of mine, Jason Inky Holloway, is going to be joining me again tonight. He's a fellow military veteran and also runs a Facebook group that deals with it's 20 to 22 veterans a day that actually take their lives. I don't know who all's on here, so if you guys will start commenting who's ever here, let me know where y'all are at. It'd really help quite a bit. All I see is I got 5 eyes, but other than that, I don't know who is here. Might have to, Jason, if you're on here, go ahead and make a comment. Once you've showed up, and anybody else who's already tuned in, let me know where you're at. I have no way of seeing who's here. I don't know what's going on. I think this old Facebook Live thing is going backwards instead of forwards. Might have to restart it here in a second and see what happens. So, but anyway, it's a pretty rough weekend out here on the roadways. From what I understand, hello Robert Green. I know you're somewhere down south. Danny Paxton is sitting at his humble abode out in the middle of a cornfield in Corn Patch, Indiana. Robert, let me know where you're at as well. I know Pennsylvania Turnpike this past weekend there was a pretty bad accident involved for those of you that weren't in touch with the news or whatever, there was a pretty bad bus accident. So our thoughts and prayers here at Chrome and Steel go out to the family members of the bus accident out there on the turnpike. It was around the 86-mile marker in Pennsylvania. Jeremy Jansen coming to you live from Iowa. Well, at least that's where Jeremy's at. I know he's waiting on his truck to get put back together. He's waiting on parts. He's had a pretty tough go of it here. That big Caterpillar that he's been having issues with. Jason's here. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on right now. We're going to kind of have a little chat tonight about mental health, something that's really hit home with me here in the last weekend, as well as some of the other tuners. Eric Burton, glad to see you're here from the road. Let me see what is going on. Oh man, it figures. Good old face space will not let me bring anybody on here live. I'm not real sure what the hell is going on. I don't get this thing at all. It says block, delete, or pin the comment. Anyway, I don't know what's going on here with this good old thing. I know it's not my phone. I know it's not his. It must be a thing that goes on with Facebook. Jeremy Jensen's in Wayne, Nebraska. Eric Burton was at his home away from home out in western Nebraska. Probably pretty cold and snowy out there. AJ Ingerman, thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a few people tuned in. Sorry I took about a month off. I had a lot going on, changing work schedule. Spent a lot of time on the road now, and Mondays here the last few weeks I've actually been on the road and haven't been able to pull over and try to do a live show, so I apologize for y'all. What I kind of want to touch on tonight, since I can't bring Inky on, is something that's really hit very close to home to me. Also Eric Burton, who's tuned in. I'm not going to divulge a lot of details or anything, but it's something that it really hit our family, for lack of better words, very hard. It's kind of dealing with mental health and everything. It really has struck me very hard, and tried to be the rock for everybody that's out there, and really it was kind of weighing heavy on me. So I thought I'd kind of bring it up and discuss it a little bit. It's kind of a taboo subject and what have you there. Oh, I didn't think about that, Jeannie, on the FaceTime me on my phone. Well, it's kind of hard to do that through Facebook Messenger, so he may have to turn his camera on or something. I'm not real sure. But anyway, going back to the mental health thing, we kind of had a tragedy strike with some people I'm very near and dear to, and Eric is part of that family as well. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Jason tried to come through on internet, whatever, and it's not wanting to cooperate. So anyway, Jeannie, what we do is we go through Facebook, and you're supposed to be able to bring somebody on here, and I'm not real sure what Facebook has changed, so I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, back to what I was going to discuss here. Kind of dealing with mental health, and always being there for somebody. It seems like this society that we now live in, everybody's become so wrapped up in their world, their beliefs, and everything else that they don't have time for the people around them. And, a lot of people are hurting. It's a holiday season. You never know what's going on. And, do I have a camera in my corner? Well, no, I don't, Jason. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, for those of you that are tuned in, I'm trying not to get. Anyway, what I wanted to touch on here is making sure that you communicate with people if you're having a problem, any kind of problem at all. I mean, it doesn't matter how trivial it may seem to you at the time. Decisions that you make can really have a ripple effect and not even realize it, especially if there's younger people that you're closer to, as well as parents and everything else, and good friends. If you're having problems, you need to reach out to those of you that are the closest to you, or through not to get all theological or anything like that. If you've got a minister or something like that, never be afraid to go in and talk to somebody, even at a truck stop ministries type of deal. I was talking to another friend of mine, Jeremy Jansen, as a matter of fact. He and I were discussing this, and he went in and talked to one of them about something that he was dealing with, and it really helped him to clear his mind and everything. Non-judgmental. You can't don't judge people for anything. Don't ever judge anybody for what they're going through, because you don't know what they're struggling with. Somebody might be reaching out and you don't realize. You may not even see that somebody's struggling like that. That's why co-workers and family members, if shouldn't be afraid to address a problem. Don't even be afraid to tell those that you're close to that you love them and they're important to you. You appreciate talking to them every day, whether it's somebody you talk to every day or not. They're a big part of your life. You need to make sure, if they're a part of your life, they're obviously important to you. So, make sure you're there, or try to give them a little bit of guidance. If you can't help them, there's always somebody out there that can help. We all know somebody. Something that Jeremy and I have been discussing over with PCLA, Pure Country Livestock Association, is trying to kind of get an outreach, and I'm going to work with Dave Coleman on this here at Chrome and Steel also, to try to get some resources out there if somebody needs to talk to somebody, that's a trained professional. They know how to deal with this kind of stuff. Deal with a situation like this. We all think we can help somebody, and it's one thing to be that shoulder, but sometimes it's beyond what an untrained individual can do. Let's see here. During my talks, I have found that guys will tell me it's easier to talk to those who don't know you versus close family. That's exactly right. You're spot on there, Jason. That it's very, very, very true. Because sometimes you're dealing with these kind of things, or you're dealing with internal strife. It's hard to talk to your friends about it or whatever, but you can't be afraid to. never feel like you've got to deal with something on your own, because there's always somebody that's a phone call away. If somebody will take the time to give you a phone call or text you back, they absolutely do care. They want to be there for you. And I realize, this is kind of a touchy subject right here, but you know, it's it's a necessary whatever. Jeremy's kind of chiming in right here now. He's had good luck with the Truck Stop Ministries. So, Jeremy, if you would, on the Pure Country Livestock Association, if you could maybe try to get their phone number out there, or get with them and try to get some of that information out there through Pure Country Livestock, and then I'll share it back through Chrome and Steel Radio. It's affected me very directly here with what I'm talking about. Eric Burton, he knows as well. I mean, he and I had a very, very long conversation about the incident that I'm referring to. I know I'm talking around it, but it's kind of a personal matter that affected us directly. But I just can't reiterate enough how you need to be there. And on my personal page, Jason also put in there bringing Milepost 22 into the Chrome and Steel. Also, there's a lot of people on there that are willing to talk. We're all veterans. There's 22 veterans a day that take their own life, whether it be from depression or PTSD or whatever. I mean, there's plenty of resources out there. So we want to do what we can to at least try to lend an ear, but never out of desperation. Please, for the love of God, don't take desperate measures. There's always somebody that cares about you and really needs you in their life. So, Carl, yeah, I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape. It's just I'm exhausted. It was a very long weekend. We had a cattle show and everything else, so I'm good, man. I appreciate you asking. We're good. It's just I'm trying to bring some awareness out here. We need to look out for each other because so many people are so very, very isolated. It's not the world that it used to be in. The brotherhood, which kind of leads me into like my next thought. We need to take the time to give somebody a smile. That's what I always put in my personal Facebook stuff. Is every day, be that difference in somebody's life. A simple smile, hold a door. Hey, have a nice day. You never know what that person's going through. Just taking a second to wish somebody a happy day or have a good day. It might be all it takes. It's like, we all care. We all care about each other out here. Regardless, we're trying to race those of you that are on electronic logs and everything like that. You're racing a clock. You don't have a lot of time to kill or whatever. But you know what? Take a second. Take a minute or two to be there for the other guy, and never be afraid to, go to some of these outreaches and give them a call or give them a talk. Like Jeremy said, sometimes it's a lot easier to talk to a stranger about your problem than somebody that you're close to. You can actually really just pour your heart out and everything like that. And it's Jeremy also pointed out too, it's also easier to talk to people over the phone so you don't see their body language and feel you're being judged. So this is a big thing is, try not to judge people because you don't know what's really going on. You don't know their past, their history, and it's, I don't know. I just had to get it off my chest. I mean, we all deal with everything in our own ways, but never feel like you've got to be, you've got to try to face these problems alone, because if you take desperate measures, it doesn't just affect yourself. It affects everybody around you, the people that care that you don't even realize that care, the people that you've come in contact with over time, whether it be through a business relationship or a personal one, because it does become personal at a certain point. Thanks, Eric. Means a lot what you just said there. But anyway, we gotta be in there we gotta hang in there for each other. So That's right, Carl. Always get help if you're in distress. That's right. Talk to your best friends, you know, whoever's out there. Take a minute, you know. We all know somebody that can deal with that. Jeremy just posted this too. It's you can get to Truck Stop Ministries directly through Facebook. It's Truck Stop Ministries. So, you know, give them a like. They're there to help in any way, shape, or form that we might need. You know, some of these guys are former truck drivers or veterans or whatever. You know, they're here to help. That's why that trailer is sitting in the corner of the truck stop. Never be ashamed or embarrassed to set foot in there. You know, it's a brotherhood. We're all out here as brothers and sisters in this industry, and you know, we all bleed the same way. You know, don't be afraid to pat somebody on the back or give them a hug or ask them if they need one. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a very simple way. It might relieve somebody. So anyway, I really felt it was important to get this off my chest. You know, there's also truckers for truckers out there. Um, I appreciate everything, everybody's input here right now. It's just, I'm speaking from the heart right now. I really am. Tyler wanted to be with me tonight, but he's trying to recover from everything going on, plus the weekend, and he just got back to school. He's in his last semester. So, you know, the big thing is too is kids today. They're not, I don't want to say they're not tough. They're tough, but they're not brought up in the same era that we were. Those of us that got a little long in our teeth and everything else out here, you know. So, you know, always take a minute. You know, these young kids, some of them are still looking for a role model. They might have a family, but may not have the best role models or whatever, you know. Get involved in your local community and any kind of outreach programs that there are, you know. There's always something out there. There's shelters for some of these kids. You know, if you get to know if you can reach out, there's always kids that are in need help. They need a mentor. You know, that's what we should all be out here right now, not just mentors to the younger, I don't mean younger, the less experienced drivers out here as well in the industry that are coming into it that don't know the ropes. You know, nobody runs a radio anymore. Kind of hard to give somebody a hand or whatever, but you know, if you know somebody that's thinking about coming into the industry, hey, take that person in your wing and teach them the things that the puppy mill truck driving schools aren't teaching them. You know, it's the same way with some of these kids. You know, they're searching out for somebody to look up to. You know, instead of these overpaid athletes that make millions and millions and millions of dollars a year and don't really set a real good example. They're in trouble with the law and everything else. You know, hey, we as an industry, this is how we redeem ourselves in the trucking industry and bring the pride back into it. Those of us that have been out here for a while, you know, we remember back in the day, and it seems to be getting lost out here. So, you know, yet another way to shed a positive light on the industry is take somebody in your wing, you know, be that mentor for that kid that's struggling, you know, that doesn't know what they're doing. You never know. You could be the difference in one person's life. That's all it takes. You know, reach out to people if you know they're hurting. Shoot them a quick text message. Let them know you're thinking about them, you appreciate them, or whatever. It doesn't take but a second. You know, they may or may not respond, but trust me, when you see that person face to face, if you haven't seen them for a while, you've told them you appreciate them, and you're thinking about them. Doesn't matter if they're going through a bad time in their life or not. You'd be surprised at how happy they are when they see you face to face again. I mean, I see it from a lot of my close friends and things like that. You know, we talk on a regular basis, but you know, we don't get to see each other like we want to. And I mean physically, to sit down, have a cup of coffee, have a cold adult beverage, or you know, whatever you want to do. Sit down, have a glass of iced tea, and have supper or whatever, share an ice cream or whatever. You know, it doesn't always have to be the negative things. Yeah, Randy Lincoln, thanks for tuning in. You might want to go back here after we've saved this and watched the whole thing, we're discussing a little bit about mentorship and reaching out to those when they're in a time of need and everything. And Jeremy's exactly right. Never be scared to reach out for help or even suggest somebody to get help, especially if you know they're struggling. Even the strongest of people, after a while, it starts taking its toll, trust me. But, you still got to try to hang in there, because somebody out there needs you. So, those of you that I'm not friends with on Facebook don't realize what I try to do out there every day. And I try to put something positive and motivational in there. And it's not just for other people. It's also for myself to remind me, hey, I got up another day. I woke up this morning. It's a fresh start for a new day to make a difference in somebody's life in some way, shape, or form, or whatever, because people actually rely on it. So anyway, I'm just going to try to make a quick one here tonight. Since it had been a while, we're going to try to figure out what's going on here, why I can't bring anybody on here as a guest. I'm sure Facebook's probably got some kind of new regulation or whatever out here. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you that tuned in and watched the awards thing there last Sunday, thanks a lot. Thank you everybody for your continued support. We've got a lot going on at Chrome and Steel. Chrome and Steel Radio is going to have a booth down at Mid-America, so make sure you stop and check that out. We're going to be in the West Wing, and Pure Country Livestock Association also will be in the West Wing, so make sure you stop and look us up. Myself and Tyler will be down there kind of floating back and forth. We'll probably have some kind of rough idea who's going to be where, when, and everything else, but pardon me for that one. As things get closer here, and we're still working on the cruise in. Can't divulge any of the information. Jeremy and myself and the rest of the gang over at Pure Country Livestock, we're working on a cruise in Dayton, Ohio. So just kind of roughly put it on your calendar for May 9th in New Carlisle, Ohio. There'll be more information coming out there. If somebody comes through on what they said they can pull off, it's going to be one of those monumental things, or epic. That's it. I'll use the terminology that the kids today use. It's going to be an epic event. Nobody will be disappointed. And also, we're working on trying to do something, maybe a joint thing with Chrome and Steel Radio, Pure Country Livestock, maybe involve Robert Palm also in a back lot deal. It kind of depends. I know it's a lot going on down at Mid-America, and it also depends on kind of some availability of people if we can pull some of this stuff off. So anyway, I want to thank the Davy Crockett Travel Center for down in Blytheville, Tennessee. I think it's exit 26. I want to thank them for their continued support, everything they do for us, and kudos to them for getting the franchise truck stop of the year, Chrome and Steel. The guys down there, they do a great job taking care of the drivers. They got an IHOP, Dunkin' Donuts, the Blue Paint Diner, full service shop, and also one of a handful of truck stops that actually carries Bill Weaver, who's one of the co-owners / whatever proprietors of Chrome and Steel Radio. They carry his CDs, Tony Justice and Paul Marhoff. And if you guys ever listen to Paul Marhoff, look him up, Long Haul Paul, on YouTube and Facebook, and start following him. The guy sings some pretty genuine, heartfelt, bluesy, folky, not funky, but folky kind of music. Can't say enough good about him. And everybody here knows Tony Justice, everything that he does and everything he's involved with, and also my great friend and my brother from another mother, as we all like to say, Bill Weaver. Check him out at Bill Weaver Music as well. So I'm going to sign off here. We're going to see if we can get some of these problems straightened out. And y'all have a great night. God bless. And please do not be afraid to reach out to somebody if you're even the slightest bit depressed or feel anxiety or just feel like you need to talk to somebody. There's always somebody available. Y'all have a good night. God bless, and take care. Be safe out there. Especially, I guess there's supposed to be some more winter weather kind of headed down across the Blue Ridge Mountains up into, or back up into Pennsylvania, as well as kind of maybe a possible storm front coming across kind of from the Midwest into Ohio. So everybody be safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and y'all be safe.